Yes, we can go live now. I was distracted by
We are.
Khadgar and dick butts.
We are now.
Woo! Oh.
Once again with the wrong
Sorry?
wrong number. I didn't change the number. I changed it there.
It's 72 this week, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. I remembered.
Yeah, but stupid me got them all confused.
I don't remember my own name some days, but I remembered. Also, I found that sesame bar that I bought the other day. I saw it and I'm like, ooh, where did you come from? Toffee. Probably not the best thing to eat before a show, but toffee. Nah. Oh yeah. Totally worth it.
To add in one thing into
Oh my gosh. Did you tweet out?
Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I will now.
Also, it never gets old seeing cats in box.
Seeing
These
what
two.
now?
Cats in boxes.
Love cats in boxes.
I just posted one into
Or bowls. Or,
literally anything. But
One
these
cup
boxes,
of cat.
These boxes that I just posted the photo in TeamSpeak of, they're like the perfect size for each cat. And I love it. And they're just so cute.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
In TeamSpeak, do I set my decibels for capture into the negative or the positive?
Negative means it'll hear more.
Okay, so in the positive. Because I will never be able to get used to push to talk.
Mm-hmm. That's
yeah.
fine.
Okay. Hang on, just need to. Yeah, that's perfect. Sorry, I was trying to see where would be perfect to not pick up absolutely everything.
Okay. Are we all ready?
Yes, I don't need to record anything on my end, correct?
No, that's why we have Mike in the chat, in the not chat room, in the channel.
Can you change its name to Mike?
What?
Just M-I-K-E. Mike. Yeah.
I'll do that after. I can't.
Oh.
I have to disconnect and reconnect to do that now.
Oh, okay, that's.
Yeah, I've got virtual audio cables running in my machine, so it was a pain to set up, but it works well.
Nice.
Okay. Can I get a countdown, please, Sirius?
A 2, a 1.
Hello and welcome to episode 72 of the Reins of Azeroth. I am your host, Spaz Wesson. Tonight, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Sirius. Sirius, how are you? And we have a guest tonight from the Game Case show, from the Converted, and I'm trying to think what else he does. And he streams a lot anyway as well. It's Cuddles. How are you, mate?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really honored to be here.
That's awesome. Well, as always with our guests, in around 30 seconds, if you're watching the stream, you'll see the lovely artwork that our
Woo!
wonderful artist has drawn for you.
That is so wonderful. I love it.
Yay!
Yes. As does everyone. So,
Hope so.
let's get into it and learn a little bit about you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into WoW?
So I have a little bit of a I think unique story of how I got into WoW. I have been listening to WoW podcasts for probably about 8 or 9 years. I can remember listening to Total Biscuit back when he did a WoW podcast. And Mick Montgomery's Starting Zone. I was listening to Convert to Raid when it originally came out. But I knew that I was always going to play WoW, and I was scared too. I didn't want to give my life. I figured that I would have to only drink Mountain Dew, eat Cheetos, and never come outside of the house. Like that was what I had in my head.
Is that really
Um,
such a bad thing?
No, it's not. But you hear that like, oh, people lose their lives over WoW. I actually had a friend who literally got divorced because he played too much WoW. Ever looking back on that, realizing with a little bit more maturity in my life, I'm sure there were other contributing factors. Now, it was December of, I believe, 2014 that I finally booted up the game. I started playing the demo. It was actually at work. I started playing and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm absolutely in love. I went from not playing ever to joining one of the largest US WoW guilds in Convert to Raid on Airy Peak, becoming an event planner, raiding heroics and then mythics, and then all of a sudden starting a podcast about WoW. And absolutely have not turned my back from the game ever since then. I absolutely love it.
So
That's really
what was
great.
happening in game around the time that you started?
I started, and it was either 14 or 15. It was after WoD, right after WoD released. So I wasn't even there for the Warlords of Draenor launch. I
That was a
never
mess.
rated oh gosh. The first tier of rating in Warlords of Draenor, which I can never remember the name of.
It had the ogres in it. It was Heimel.
There you go. I didn't raid. I was leveling during High Mall.
Hmm.
And right after High Mall was when I started raiding. And that's continued on. But now, although I mean, very rarely seen. I think my raid team, the Rubber Chicken Coalition, has me listed in Discord as I'm the official team mascot now. That's about how often I found that I ended up raiding 5 nights a week. I ended up raiding on 2 teams regularly and then jumping in whenever else I could. And I really burnt myself out. And so coming into Legion, I took a little bit of a step back from raiding, and now I am a horribly filthy casual player, and I'm really enjoying it. Although I'm already getting that itch to get back into serious raiding.
It's always once you've tried it, you're just like, oh, it's so fun, and I really want to get back into it. So, it's definitely one of those things that grabs you some days, and some days you're just like, nah, it's not. That's all right.
That was me most days.
So do you have a favorite thing to collect in game?
So while I don't have an overly impressive collection, I love pets. I am absolutely obsessed with pet battling and playing Wowkimon. or PokeWow or however you want to. I'm one of these crazy people that's still playing Pokemon Go.
Hmm.
So
I have no comment for that because I am too.
woohoo!
Yep.
I'm
Back when-
actually extremely sad that I'm not going to the large event coming up in Chicago.
Is it?
Ah.
Oh, I
Well,
didn't know about it.
You would probably. I'm presuming being across the pond and down the river and on the other side of the world. There is a large Pokemon Go event coming up in Chicago, Illinois, and they're gonna have special like Pokemon that are only there, and there's actually a coinciding event. Everyone else, there's a bunch of cool stuff going on, but that's the game of that's the game of Warcraft that I'm really enjoying playing now.
Awesome.
Which one's your favorite pet in WoW?
So I have two. Because one of them's my favorite to just run around with me because he's adorable, and the other one has been my favorite because he's actually useful. My favorite cute is the Cinder Pup. I think that's
Yeah.
The Molten Corgi.
there. You go, the Molten Corgi. I always call them. See, I have this horrible habit of renaming pets when I get them. And then I have no idea how to actually speak about them coherently because I'm like, oh, you mean Mr. Fluffykins?
Wait. The Molten Corgi or the actual Cinder Pup that looks like the Frost Wolf pup?
The Molten Corgi.
Ah, okay.
The Molten Corgi. He got it. He got it. The way that the Molten Corgi like scoots around on his butt and leaves a little line of lava is one of the most adorable yet probably medically troubling things I've ever seen.
You're just gonna have a bunch of skid marks in your carpet.
Or your carpet's going to be on fire.
Oh no.
Yeah, that would be quite dangerous. But then for usefulness, I still love one of the first pets that I ever actually got. It was gifted to me in a Convert to Raid event. They did a pet battle roundtable and handed out pets as a gift at the end, and I got a Anubiseth idol.
Oh, nice.
That I just love and seems to always live, whether it's tournaments or just running around in the world. There's
as
very
far as I'm
few
aware,
occasions.
he's one of the top tier pets that everyone sort of uses, as far as I'm aware.
I actually got him as a gift too. I was doing some achievements and one of our guildmates decided to send one over to me and it dinged the achievement straight away. Raiding with leashes, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would that be your favorite sort of collecting moment, getting that as a gift, or do you have like a really cool moment?
Okay, so one of my favorite moments from WoW was I started out originally on a server called Undermine, which thank God for the Undermine Journal, the website.
Yes.
Love that place.
Yep.
However, the Undermine server,
Oh no.
not so much. I can't remember my very first guild that I joined because somebody walked up in Stormwind. And I was on Undermine because a friend that talked me into playing WoW that I then have never played WoW with since, he disappeared. Undermine, that guild who, I can't even remember their name. I think I typed /G quit more times than I'd like to admit because they kept on tricking me into it. And it was they had been around for 10 years and I was the new kid. So it was very much this like high school, I have no idea where to sit. They tripped me in the lunchroom sort of situation.
Aww.
So as I leveled, I want to say I was around 74 and Warlords of Draenor, I want to say, if I'm remembering correctly, capped at 90? Or no, would it have been 100? It would have been 100.
Yep.
I joined CTR at 74 and I'm sitting in guild chat. I just installed. We have something called Green Wall that allows
The green
all
wall.
of our,
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, we're part of CTR as well.
Perfect. I knew that. And it just it's all green wall. So I'm seeing all this chat. And it was early on in WAD, so there's a bunch of people there. And they offer somebody's like, hey, does anyone want to go run Firelands? I had no idea what that meant. So I was like, yeah, sure I do. But I'm level 70. I want to say it was 72 or 74. It's one of the earliest levels that you could get in there. They were like, yeah, you can just barely get in there. That's fine. We'll carry you around, because I died every time something looked at me.
Mm-hmm.
But
That
then
happened.
we got
That happened on my priest. When Legion came out, my level 90 priest, even with the gear that she had, was still getting one shot in there, and so I had to have Sirius on her mage follow me around.
And even me with my tissue paper armor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's glorious. Well, we got to Alis Resort and got it down. Like, they had no problem. Of course, died. So as they're rezzing me, somebody said something about, oh, something dropped. And they're like, everybody roll for it. And I was like, what does that mean? They're like, just type /roll. And I rolled a 98. And I got Flame Talons of Alis Resort, and everybody totally flips out. It was my first time ever in Firelands. I had no idea what I was even getting. Like, I was like, oh, cool, a little chicken on fire. Like, that's cool. Dude,
and then they told you how to put it on the bar. And
oh, yeah. But I remember even saying, I'm like, why don't you guys get on yours? We'll all ride around on them. And that was not a popular comment.
You can forgive a new player in those regards sometimes.
I had no idea. Either that moment, or I have Invincible, and the moment of getting that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But no big story. I went in and killed the guy, and he gave me a horse. So but it was just fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to the point running that so much that I there were so many VOs that were overlapping each other, and it just made no sense. Like, Jaina started crying, Uther was yelling about the light, and Tyrion was blathering on. It's like, yeah, you guys aren't making any sense anymore. But then I finally got everything out of there, so it's done.
It does feel good to be done with that place.
Still don't have Invincible. So what's actually been the most difficult thing to collect for you?
So for me, it's definitely been having only been around for, I guess, coming up on 3 years now. It's definitely transmog or stuff from older raids. For one, nobody wants to go run an old raid with the guy that has no idea where he's going. I can remember Ice Crown, for example. Everybody run that with a group. Everyone just runs through that. And I was, for a very long time, was turning the wrong way, was going down somewhere when I should have been going up. It's a lot of these old raids that everyone is so used to. I still don't, especially earlier game content. I never didn't, I didn't raid dead mines over and over and over and over and over. I don't even know where some of these places really are. I don't think I've ever admitted that out loud. But if it weren't for people summoning me places and for me randomly flying, I think the hardest thing for me has been finding the older stuff, like even transmog stuff that I want, because it's like, oh yeah, that's in this, and then I'm generally too embarrassed to be like, so where is that?
Yeah,
because I've never been there. So all the stuff that everybody takes for granted that they have, even just little transmog pieces, or I can remember getting the I want to say is it the blue drake that now like literally you walk in and you like wave at someone and they almost hand it to you. You have to kill like one thing.
The blue
And
drake drops from Malagos in
Eye
what's
of
it called?
Eternity?
The Eye of Eternity, yeah. The
Yeah.
blue and is it Cobalt Drake? He drops 2 of them. You can get in both 10 and 25. Yeah, you basically sneeze at all the guys flying around on their discs.
Yeah, and it's over. And that was something that I didn't even know about that till somebody I can remember sitting in guild chat and saying like, man, I want some more mounts. And a few people knowing how new I was, they were like, well, do you have this? Do you have this? I'm like, no. Because it was really cool. Like, oh, look, I got invincible, but now I have 34 mounts.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I think that's been the hardest part for me. It's just finding these places, figuring out where they are, and then especially older raids or dungeons that have a special mechanic. Like, oh, well, you have to now do that this way. That's really difficult for me.
What's his name? Razorgore. Trying to do that was, even with 2 people, that was relatively impossible. You know, him having to be mind controlled by the orb, and then you have to eat all the eggs one after the other. You know, and if you kill Razorgore, he blows everything in the room up instantly, even if you're max level. It's just like, how are you even supposed to do this? Some of the stuff just makes no sense.
It's made 10 times as hard when you've got someone like me helping you and you just dumb stuff on purpose.
Yeah. Well, 2 things I wanted to mention. One, have you checked out Simple Armory, Cuddles?
I have not. I've never heard of this.
I popped it in. We'll pop it in the show notes, and I popped it in the Twitch chat. Basically, you put in your character name, and it pulls all like the information on your character, like the achievements that you have, the mounts, the toys, battle pets, and stuff like that, and it shows it all out in this big like a whole bunch of squares. We've talked about this before, and especially under the collectibles, under mounts, there's a little box you can tick to show the planner. Now, obviously, it does throw back to your not knowing where things are. It gives you a list of places to go. Like, it says start off in Stormwind, take the portal to Oldham, run or fly to the Throne of the Four Winds, but I don't have the Drake of the South Winds. You don't know where all those places are, or you don't have Explorer of the continents. Yes, you'll get a little lost, but obviously it uses like correct terms in there, so you can easily look them up on Wowhead, which Anne in Wonderland did mention in the chat room as well. So yeah, that's really helpful. Like, it lets you plan your run to go through everything. The other thing I was going to mention, when I started back at basically the Cataclysm Drought that everyone complained about, I had no idea about endgame. So I was just like, alright, I'll just get to whatever max level was, 85. And I took my time and I did every quest in every zone on my hunter. And I learnt where everything was that way because I wasn't pushed, because a lot of my guildmates were falling off because of the Cataclysm Drought. So I ended up playing like everything, and then when I got to max level, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the WoW website, and there's like all this raid progress stuff. Okay, where's AQ40? So I looked at my map, and I'm like, oh, okay, I've been there. Let me go figure out how I get in there. And so what I did, I was going through each of the raids one after the other from start of WoW to finish, and obviously I tried to do every dungeon on the way while leveling as well. Obviously, you can't always group find into the dungeon at the right level. So, yeah, that was fortunate enough that there was that massive dry patch where I could just move through the expansion and have move through all the old content, get to the new content, then get to max level and have nothing to do. So I went back even further. So it's pretty good. It was pretty cool.
Usually I came along for the ride, but like I said, I'm annoying sometimes.
Yeah, I pulled you in for the Twin Emperors because a hunter can't do magic damage.
Yeah.
And you had to kill one with physical damage, one with magic damage.
That was a lot of fun, though.
It was.
Yeah. So what's next on your collecting wish list, Cuddles?
So given an infinite amount of time and all sorts of friends to aid me in my effort, the one thing that I constantly find myself going back, I have my hunter parked out in Pandaria, and also my old main from WoD was Cuddles. Unfortunately, with an accent in the E, because there's a level 3 like gnome on one of our cross server realms that has never done anything with the name Cuddles, is sitting on it. I'm not bitter at all about that. But my main is sitting in Pandaria since he's taking a rest from raiding. He's out there with Lore Walker Cho. They're in my headcanon, they're running an artisanal cheese business, and he's just kind of resting on his laurels until his next challenge. But they're both sitting out there because I want all the Pandaren. I want all the Pandaren mounts.
All the rares.
I want all the things. Yes, I want all the things from Mists that I didn't get to. Being a WoD baby, for some reason, if you had to ask me my favorite expansion, although I've obviously only experienced 2 now, it would, even though I wasn't there for it, my favorite expansion would be Mists. It like 10 of 10 hands down, rolling a panda as my main when I came over to CTR. I had originally rolled a Worgen. That was my very first character that no longer exists and we don't speak of. Bad things happened to him.
He was killed
I didn't like the game as much. I rolled that panda and I got into Pandaria. I was like, this game is awesome. On the back of a giant turtle, collecting poop. I love this.
Oh god.
So yeah, panda mounts. I want all of them. I don't have any of the really cool ones yet, but I have some of the easier to get ones.
Totally fair. Just a quick one. Have you trained your dragon in Pandaria?
I'm like 3/4 of the way through that. I find that quest a little annoying.
Well, you can collect the onyx eggs for
it.
rep.
Yes, and that's generally like if I am looking for something to do and have not things to do, that's what I'm doing. Is I'm flying around doing the little circuit, grabbing the eggs.
And they're not contested anymore either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get the one you chose for free, and the other 2 you can purchase when you get to that point. So, pretty good.
Yeah.
And if you want the Onyx one, you have to get Exalted with the Shadow Pan. And then there's like a cool little initiation thing that they go through when they give that to you.
Oh, that's awesome! And I love all the little things like that. Like, just Warcraft for me has been a pleasant surprise around every corner. Like I said, I started playing in like the beginning of December. It was end of November, beginning of December of, I believe it was 2015, and yeah, it would have been. And I remember walking into Stormwind and seeing it all decked out for Wintervale. And before that, I was a console peasant, and this should have really gone in the answer earlier, but it was like a very poignant moment for me, just seeing, like, oh my gosh, look at all this really cool stuff that they did, and that's what's kept me constantly in awe of WoW, and that's what keeps me going back like time and time again, is all the little touches that Blizzard puts into it. All the little things and funkies that you can find all around every corner.
Your first holiday, no matter which one it is, the first time you experience each of the holidays is just mind-blowing, especially Wintervale.
Yeah, Wintervale was my first.
Oh, so much fun.
Yeah. And our last question is, if you create a new mount for the game, what would it be?
Hands down, a Murloc mount. I want to run around as demeaning as that would be for King Murgle to carry my panda around, or
Oh
or my
gosh,
night elf, or
like the Treasure Goblin Mountain Heroes.
Yeah,
Seeing
is this
Diablo
gonna
on
be-
that thing,
Yes.
you
gonna be
feel
one
so
that
bad for it.
scales? Is it gonna
Oh
scale, or is it
gosh,
gonna be a tiny Murloc no matter what?
no.
Cuddles.
No. I want to see a Tauren riding on I want to see the Tauren look like a circus bear on a tricycle.
Okay.
Oh,
Two
dear.
things I just thought of. One, if it's scaled, you know the Bloodhoof bulls in the stables in Warlords.
Yes.
Imagine a Murloc that big,
Oh,
and two, imagine 10 to more Murlocs
I don't want
carrying
to.
a throne that your character sits on.
Okay, I kind of want that.
Okay, that sounds glorious.
Yeah.
And obviously,
it-
you have to have like a BlizzCon banner hanging off the damn thing because that's the only time they'd make a mount that dumb.
But would we really want a Murloc that size? It's like the argument of a poodle-sized spider or a spider-sized poodle sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know if I'd want a Murloc that big anywhere on this Earth or Azeroth or anywhere. Just no.
Fair enough.
I,
Imagine
for some
the sound it
reason,
made.
imagine that you have poodle-sized spiders in Australia. I don't know why, but
We
I
do.
just
Yeah,
imagine that's a thing.
yeah.
We do.
I wouldn't be surprised at some point if we saw one.
In the outback, we do. But yeah,
Camel spiders.
let's move on then. My last week has been sadly no new mounts, but I am leveling my rogue, so I'm hoping to get that class mount. And I'm also trying to work towards my priest class mount as well, so those are two of the cool ones that I'm doing. I'm slowly leveling, just slowly going to level all my alts, basically, because I don't really feel like doing much else in WoW at the moment. But yeah, now that I've got Concordance on my main, I don't really feel like I need to play him as much anymore, because I'm like, I've hit that cap, and I'm done. So, Sirius, what about yourself?
I've actually done nothing in the game this week again. So tired and so busy and wanted to like keel over and die most days. So I've only been playing like little quick games like Wonder Boy or Wonder Girl if you choose to play as the female protagonist, which is really adorable. And I guess this can be considered as WoW things, but I've been working on more miniatures like my little mage table. But other than that, nothing really WoW based this week. Yeah. What about you, Cuddles?
So, I haven't. It's been a while since I've had any new mounts or pets. I find myself jumping in the game and fishing, or hanging out in an inn and just talking in guild chat, like doing absolutely silly, useless things here as of late. I would like to say I'm at a whopping 77 mounts. I know that's impressive. Not really.
Pretty good.
I find that with I still do a little rotation. I do the and here's the funny thing, and I've never admitted this before, but a couple of the wind thrones, the throne of the north winds, and then there's
Throne of
south
Four
winds.
Winds. Oh, the
Four
Drakes
Winds.
of the Four Winds.
Yes, I don't know if I'm doing any of these correctly, but I go in and I run through that about once every week or two. And I still sadly don't have flying yet. Although I'm working on it slowly but surely. It'll happen one day.
So long as
That's,
you're trying.
that's kind of
I
what
guess.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm slowly trying.
So
Sounds like a good week.
the Drake of the East Winds is from the Glory of the Cataclysm Raider achievement. You have the Drake of the West Wind, which is related to Tolbarad, which I didn't even know existed because that was like like how we have the Broken Shore. It's one of those islands that you wouldn't normally find. Well, in the case of that one, you can, but getting to Tolbarad is actually not straightforward. You have the Drake of the North Winds, which is the Vortex Pinnacle. That one you can run over and over again on normal, as long as you have X amount of lockouts. It drops off the second boss, and then the last one is the Drake of the South Winds, which is off Alakir in the Throne of the Four Winds. That's the big
Okay,
dude who's
cool.
in
Yeah, that's the guy
big
that I
dude
keep
who's in
on
the
killing. He won't give
Yeah.
me things.
Yes, eventually.
He's mean.
He drops tons of belts for me. So, yeah. The Drake of the South Wind. I still don't have that one myself, so.
I'm working on that. He's part of my little circle of shame.
It is a nice looking mount. And it's as Alt coined the phrase, the Circuit of Disappointment.
Yep.
Yes.
So, move into the news. First and foremost, we have a world first mythic Jaden kill.
Woo!
And
Ow.
it goes to Method. Now,
Of course.
fun fact, Method took down mythic Archimond exactly, I believe it was 1 year ago. They killed
wouldn't be
Kil'jaeden exactly 1 year on the day later.
They're crazy.
That's a fun little 1 year anniversary, as it were.
Yeah. So, they have a wipe counter for the bosses. Goroth, 2 wipes. Inquisition, no wipes. Harjatan, no wipes. Sisters, 15. Mistress Sassy, 39. Host, 3. Maiden, 73. Avatar of Avatar, 453. And
Nope.
for Kil'jaeden, a grand total of 654 wipes.
That hurts my soul.
That's a big repair bill.
Yeah. That really hurts. And like I can't even speak just thinking of the amount of times that they'd go, all right, this one, let's go. Okay, not this one. Wipe it. All right, this one. Come on, guys. Got it.
Yeah, I'm curious how many of the wipes are like sub 30 seconds.
Oh,
To be like, oh no, someone stepped out of place or some RNG went off the wrong way. No, wipe it. Let's start again. Save time, because
I don't think
all
I'd
those-
want to know.
all those Kil'jaeden, all those fights, like especially Kil'jaeden, takes so long. There was actually a really cool guide they spotlighted on Wowhead to do with mountain pet collecting, so that was pretty good. We'll put that in the show notes. And in looking at a couple of spoilery little things on Wowhead for the next patch 7.3, there's actually an Alice in Wonderland reference.
Woo!
It's
Ow.
McArry, the Jewel of Argus, which is, I believe it's an Alice in Wonderland reference because McArry is also a reference to have written there's a book that you find, this expansion in archaeology that
I
but
can't.
it's a reference to American McGee.
That's what I thought it would be. I was gonna say it wouldn't be anything from the books.
No, but yeah, that name has come up before, so there may actually be some significance to it that I'm not aware of, other than the simple Alice in Wonderland sort of reference. But
Unless it's someone who just can't pronounce free.
That was entirely what I thought it was.
McAree? Oh, okay.
well, as part of the Hearthstone update, several things have been added into Hearthstone, hint at an appear offline mode. Now, appear offline has been teased for years, starting back in 2012, and most recently, around obviously when Overwatch came out, a lot of people were, new to Overwatch, asking for an offline mode in the game. And it, as cool as it would be to have an offline feature, which I don't really see the point of unless you're trying to avoid a bunch of people. Busy and away work just as well, I guess.
People don't usually get the hint, but
yeah, I suppose it would stop, stream sniping for Hearthstone players, and when you're going into a tournament, you can appear offline after you join into the game. That way, you don't have people trying to ping you on Battle.net to be like, "Hey, I'm on TV," sort of thing, which did actually happen in a tournament when Hearthstone was really starting to pick up speed. Someone pinged one of the players, "Haha, I'm on TV" or something, and it popped up. But in saying that, he also said that, "Oh, the other person has this card, watch out." And so they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, this is cheating." And there was a whole big mess about it. So, yeah, I don't remember the exact details, but
I don't either, but no.
Now, Cuddles, do you like Mythic Dungeons?
I do enjoy Mythic Dungeons, yes.
Have you watched the raid race at BlizzCon?
I sadly have not. I don't know even that I have been to the last 2 BlizzCons.
I don't believe
has
they
it even
had.
happened? I don't think it's happened the last 2.
No, they phased. I believe they phased it out, but
They
this
did
is
have
kind
a
of
break for a couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is kind of a replacement for it. There is an upcoming Mythic Dungeon tournament, I guess you could say. It's the Mythic Dungeon Invitational. The prize pool is $100,000, and I believe it is culminating at BlizzCon. But the best part is anyone can enter, as long as you have your group of people party up, smash out the Mythic Dungeons, the highest keystone as fast as you can, and you'll actually, be entered into this sort of thing. Now, it is broken up into a bunch of different sections. First up is the Proving Grounds, which starts on July 25th and runs through to August 8th. Players will need to run a whole string of Mythic Dungeons, increasing their keystone levels as high as they can. Performance is evaluated across 5 dungeons, in which the team achieves the highest keystone level during those 2 weeks. No sign-ups are required, as I said. All players are welcome. 5-man groups just have to go in and run through those dungeons. Now, I'm fairly certain the affixes will all be random. So, it's not just going to be the same thing for everyone, unless I'm completely wrong. But I honestly don't know.
It just says that will be Blizzard.
Oh, chosen by Blizzard.
Yeah.
Okay. So, at the end of the 2-week period, players will submit their top scores. Based on that, 32 teams will be invited to the playoffs. 8 from America, 8 from Europe, 8 from China, and 8 from Asia Pacific. So that's pretty cool.
So
now,
can I just say I absolutely love this, because
definitely.
one of my biggest complaints, one of the biggest things that I like to complain about, but yet I totally understand why it can't get my way, and I'm just being like a whiny little kid about it, is I love the idea, and I always follow the world first race like as closely as possible, but it's horribly like uninformative to follow, because you're watching people's Twitters, or you're watching the world first on their websites, and that's really
because
all
everyone's
you
so
get.
secretive,
which as they should be and as they have to, because we saw you mentioned it earlier. Method had 453 wipes on Avatar.
Yeah.
If they could have seen somebody else do Avatar, maybe it would have been 2 wipes, and then Kil'jaeden would have died 6 hours earlier or whatever it would be. So I get why they do it, but I've regretted that I didn't get to see those races at BlizzCon, because I want that epic feel of world first rating. I want to see that. And I almost wish Blizz would just, I know they've kind of done it in the past, but I wish they would do like full on coverage of like 15 teams and give us some sort of like breakdown that we could watch maybe like after everybody's killed everything.
Yeah, that would be totally worth it. A lot of the big guilds hold off on releasing their videos because they record everything. I think the gentleman's agreement is don't release any kills until the top 5 have cleared Mythic. And then once the 5th team kills the Mythic, then, you know, you can release your videos and show everyone your nerd screams, that kind of thing. So, you know, we do get it afterwards, but, you know, watching them live is so much better. And I think the best part is that this will be totally castable. Like, you'll be able to have 2 people up in the booth, if it's whoever it is. They'll know, you know, how to play their 9 classes. They'll know to be like, okay, there's only 5 of them. And each of those 5 have 3 specs. So let's see what spec they're using. Let's look at their gear. These are 5. It's not 20. You know, It's a lot more manageable. So it's going to be a lot easier to, you know, keep track of things, I suppose. You know, oh, these 5 people are doing this. Oh, but in the raid, you've got 2 people over there, and you've got 3 people back there, and you've got 2 people across the room, and oh, those people over there have done something. Oh, no, they've done something. Oh, they've done something. It's like they pretty much have to be like at a horse race at that point. So, like, it doesn't really make sense. So this makes way more sense to bring Mythic Keystones sort of up to the front, because who knows how long, like, do you have a guess at what level the people, like, say this goes top 2 teams to BlizzCon, what level of Mythic Keystone will they be running? Like, what do you think, Cuddles? Like 25? 30?
I think it's going to be something ridiculous that the rest of us normal humans aren't used to. I mean, it's got to just be something absolutely crazy. 30. I have no clue, but it's going to be something on a level that we're going to see the first one, and we're going to hear what they're running, and it's going to be like, whoa, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it went high.
Yeah, I know. It's like when WoW had announced, oh, a guild this week has finally hit 25 a 25 keystone. I was like, wait, they already go that high? And then like 2 weeks later they're like, oh yeah, they broke 30. Congratulations. It's like, I'm sorry, what? But that's the thing. In the information for this event, it says that they'll be taking the top 5 dungeon times and levels. So what I'm expecting is 5 selected by Blizzard dungeons, each with different selected by Blizzard affixes, 2 teams, 5 dungeons, no chance at a draw. And hell, if they're clearing a dungeon in under 5 minutes each, that's still at least half an hour to 45 minutes worth of holy crap, edge of our seats, like, cheering that it's going to be awesome at BlizzCon.
From what I've seen, that might make it a bit simpler on each of the teams is that the dungeons are actually, I think they're actually going to be chosen before.
Yeah, I think they'll have
the
setup.
matches. So I think it'd make it a bit simpler on the teams that it can kind of practice a bit, even if they don't get the affixes before then, sort of thing.
Yeah. who knows? The week before BlizzCon, they might be like, okay, all this week, all the mythic dungeons have like the 5 that are going to be at BlizzCon will have the affixes that will be at BlizzCon. So if you want personally to try and push through them, grab your friends and go for it. Like, that'd be a really cool way to allow the people to practice and drum up support and interest in it. To be like, geez, we can't even crack 5, and these guys are cracking 30s in 5.5 minutes. Like, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Kind of exciting, though.
Yeah. And speaking of fun and crazy, this weekend, Auction House Dance Party will be happening. So,
Dance off, or no?
Yeah, when you go to sell some stuff, be prepared to show your moves, I guess. We honestly have no idea how this is going to work.
I spent my entire life waiting for this.
Yeah, so, start Carmel dancing, shuffling, Saturday Night Fever dancing, I don't know, just
river dancing,
Cossack
you name
dancing. Yeah. Actually, Cuddles, do you have a favorite Warcraft race dance?
Panda dance.
Oh yeah, male or female?
Male or female?
Yes, but male panda.
Okay.
Male panda is cute.
Yes.
He looks like he has the most fun, honestly.
Yeah.
He's just I love his cute cuddly rotundness and the way he kind of jiggles just a little.
Yes.
Favorite is the when he just kind of like does the pretty much the flex, he does the thinker.
the hard
that
pose
one's my favorite.
to one side, and he's like trying to put on a serious face, and he's like, and he holds it, and then he keeps going. It's awesome. Now, Cuddles, do you watch Overwatch? Or play Overwatch?
Oh yes.
Well,
I play Overwatch not as much as I like, but I love watching it.
Well, Sirius and I this weekend will be at the Overwatch World Cup in Sydney.
Woo!
Because we live there.
Congrats!
Even though we're getting a hotel.
Yes, because the city is a wonderful, terrible place, and trains suck after midnight.
Stuff.
Yeah, so we actually have our mates from Junkertown FM coming over from WA, which is like a 3.5-hour plane ride, I think. They're 2 hours behind us, time zone wise, so it's a fair distance. Yeah, so they're coming over as well, and yeah, it's the group stages for the Overwatch World Cup. It's going to be awesome. I believe they want us to be on their next episode, which we'll be recording. I think probably on the Saturday night after everything's wrapped up and we've had a few beverages. So we'll see what happens in that regards, but definitely gonna be fun.
Yeah. I will remember not to drink till I'm ready to take a nap.
No.
Usually what happens.
Make sure to take plenty of pictures so that we can live vicariously through you.
We will. Yeah, so well, now that that's all out of the way, let's get on to the main topic of the show, which is the achievement, the meta achievement, I should say, Glory of the Tomb Raider. So, this is Tomb of Sargeras meta achievement. There are 10 achievements. Sorry, 9 achievements in this. And no, it does not require Legion archaeology to get this achievement. Because it'd be funny if it did. So, now, once again, we always have to defer to Wowhead. This is where we got a lot of our information from. And pretty much there's this this commenter, Night Swifty, on the actual achievement page for the meta achievement. He's written up this huge post with all this information, and then he's gone into every single achievement and rated the difficulty, written the strategy, put some notes, linked a bunch of pictures, like, things you need to prepare beforehand. Like, oh my god, this dude is so praiseworthy. Like, holy crap, dude, that's so... The work he's done is so great.
Can I just say quickly, I love people who do stuff like that. Like,
Definitely.
you make it so much easier on so many people, and, like, it completely eliminates the troll factor of it. Someone else going and saying, oh yeah, you just need to do this, and it's completely wrong sort of thing.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
Yeah. The best part is obviously, with Wowhead, it's all community driven. So if someone says, "Oh, this achievement's easy, just throw yourself off the edge of the world and Alt F4," it's like that comment's going to get downvoted, and then it's going to disappear because no one finds that useful. And the comments like this guy writes are upvoted like crazy, and then they're the ones that rise to the top. So it's really good. It's really great. So, up first, we have the achievement Fell Turkey, which is to destroy 30 infernal spikes with shattering stars, and then defeat Goroth, obviously, in the Tomb of Sargeras, and obviously on normal difficulty or higher. Now, yes, this is a bowling reference, because I didn't pick that up at first. So, what you want to do with this is line up your raid in a line. Hell, even put 3 world markers down so that everyone lines up in a line, the DPS and the healers, and then when he spawns his infernal spikes, that'll be all coming in the line, basically. So it'll be easy to get rid of them in that way. Once someone is marked with shattering star, all they have to do is go behind the pillars, and it'll destroy them. It's simple. This one is rated easy. There is a catch, however. Make sure you don't move the boss near the pillars, because he will because he's so big, passively destroy them. And any other abilities such as Crashing Comet will also destroy them. So the players who get affected by that kind of have to, run away. As far as we're aware, he will always spawn a set of pillars before he casts Infernal Burning. So you don't really have to worry about, the ability coming out when there's no pillars to destroy. So that's pretty good. Sirius, do you want to take the next one?
I will take the next one. Also, it's a pun. So the next one is Grand Finale. Or Grand Finale, depends. I wouldn't want to drink Finale. So you are to summon Elder Murkai using... Oh, is this why you made me do this?
No.
Well, you're meant to use a McGurgle and then defeat him and Argitan in Tomb of Sargeras on normal difficulty or higher. So, to spawn Elder Murkai, someone in the raid has the McGurgle drawn toy, which is obtained by completing the No Shellfish and... So, you use the toy and you focus Elder Murkai at the start of the fight, and he will most likely die within 10 to 15 seconds. You don't really have to worry about his abilities or damage.
Yeah. As far as the comments were saying, he dies pretty damn quickly and does literally nothing. If you're on normal or even heroic, so not too much to worry. That's why this one is also rated easy. Now, Cuddles, do you want to go through the next one for us?
Oh yeah. So this is going to be our first one rated hard. And this one is entitled Grin and Bear It. Defeat the demonic inquisition in Tomb of Sargeras while every party member is at maximum torment on normal difficulty or higher. Recommend you use a third tank and 1 or 2 extra healers to make healing a lot easier at the end of this fight. Save your DPS and raid cooldowns towards the end of the fight when people are affected by unbearable torment. So the strat for this one, you want to execute the fight as you normally do and slowly stop DPS around 5%. To get to 100 torment really fast, you have to attack Atrigan, probably said that one wrong, or Belak during their special attacks, Bonesaw or Fell Squaw. Once everyone has massive max torment, use Time Warp, Potion of Prolonged Power, personal raid cooldowns, and just kill the boss. Towards the end of the fight, they recommend that the tank with the lowest torment takes Atrigan so that he won't get one shot by Scythe Sweep. So basically, stack healers get all the debuffs and GG.
Yeah, so this is the classic do the fight wrong achievement. So, yeah, if you do the fight really, really badly, but are really prepared, achievement. Pretty much. Now the next one is Bingo, which is an easy achievement, and it's defeat Fallen Avatar in the Tomb of Sargeras without breaking any floor segments in the following patterns. Now, there are multiple patterns, but this can be done in a single kill if you have a decent group. First of all, strategy, you should time warp on the pull, get as much damage as possible into the Fallen Avatar during phase 1. That will make the next phases easier. DPS should focus solely on Fallen Avatar, and then switch to the Maiden of Valor once she casts Cleansing Protocol. As soon as the shield is removed, DPS want to switch back and focus the Fallen Avatar. This is due to the fact that when the Maiden dies, phase 2 is immediately triggered. Now, when phase 2 starts, you have to pick a corner. You'll take the Fallen Avatar every time he's about to cast Rupture Realities. Assign personal and raid cooldowns like Pain Suppression or Iron Bark to help the tanks mitigate damage while staying in the fire. Priests can Leap of Faith tank back to the platform as well. So, basically, it's like filling out a bingo card. So, it's pretty straightforward as far as I'm aware. I myself have not done any of the raids yet, aside from the available LFR wings, so...
Still done more than I have, really. The next one is Fire Force. So you are to defeat Mistress Scene in the Tomb of Eris after feeding the following items to I was about to say Saruman. So it's after feeding the following items to Sarukel on normal difficulty or higher. So the first one is the Hydra Essence, and it comes from a player being hit by Hydra Shot within Sarukel's Devouring Maw. The next one is Il Tatar, which comes from the Abyss Stalkers and die within Sarukel's Devouring Maw. Next one is Murloc Fillet, which comes from the Murlocs or Razor Jaw Wave Runners. I was about to stumble all over that. And that's from phase 1. One of which has to die within Sarukel's Devouring Maw. Next one is Ink Source, which comes from a player soaking the befouling ink patch, which has come in contact with Sarukel's Devouring Maw. And the last one is Player Seasoning, which comes from a player willing to give their life by going into the inner circle of Sarukel's Devouring Maw.
So someone has to die.
For the greater good. It's fine. It's okay. They said that so long as they're, willing to give their life. So, to make the achievement extremely easy, we recommend that you use a third tank that will taunt the Murlocs and Abyss group, so that they don't die to the accidental damage. The Murlocs, or Razor Jaw Wave Runner, only spawn in phase 1, so it's about 100% to 70%, and the players should stand within Thundering Shock, so that the tank can pick them up once they are stunned. The Abyss Stalkers will continue to spawn throughout phase 2, so you don't have to worry about that one too much. And the strat for this one is to make the fight even easier. You should first focus on getting the Hydra Essence, the Eel Tartar, and Murloc Fillet parts of the achievement. Befouling Ink, which is will stop Sarukel from casting Devouring Maw, so you should try to do this last player seasoning by sacrificing one of the players. Feel really bad just rolling someone in ink and then just offering them up. Feel really cruel about that one.
Yeah. So, Cuddles, do you want to tell us about the next one?
All right, our next one is going to be hard again, and that is going to be Skywalker. So you want to defeat the Maiden of Vigilance in the Tomb of Sargeras, having captured every Titanic anomaly on normal difficulty or higher. There are a total of 9 Titanic anomalies that you have to catch. 5 inside the well, and 4 above the platform where you fight the Maiden of Vigilance. You want to split the raid into 2 parts and place a world marker in front of the Maiden. As far as strats, you're going to get the first Titanic anomaly. It's pretty hard to capture since the gravity will pull you down as soon as you get Egwin's Ward. This is where your Demon Hunters and Shamans come in handy due to their mid-air displacement abilities. Fell Rush, Vengeful Retreat, Glide, and Gust of Wind. You will want all Demon Hunters and Shamans to stack on the red marker to cause unstable soul on themselves, and then proceed to jump when the debuff shows 5 seconds remaining. If you have more than 20 players in your raid group, feel free to sacrifice one of the players to get the Titanic anomaly. Demon Hunters can easily glide and capture it. The next 4 Titanic anomalies spawn as soon as the first one is captured, and they rotate in a clockwise direction. You will have to go by trial and error until people get used to the timings. Jumping when you have 5 seconds left on the debuff seems to be the best moment to do it. Monks and warlocks can jump at 6 seconds and make use of their transcendence or demonic circle, respectively, to get back on the platform. Rogues can also shadow step to a player standing off the edge of the platform, and priests can leap of faith players that aren't knocked up enough. Players that aren't knocked up enough. The last 4 Titanic anomalies spawn above the platform as soon as the ones in the well are captured. Have your Demon Hunters and Shamans jump with 1 or 2 seconds remaining on the debuff, and then use their mid-air displacement abilities to capture the orbs. Hunters can also help out with Disengage, and Goblins can use their racial ability Rocket Jump to capture the orbs. It's important to note that if a player captures a Titanic anomaly and then dies, don't worry about it. Everyone will receive the achievement at the end of the fight.
Yep. So, the next one, another hard one, is to defeat the desolate host while keeping the diminishing soul from perishing. Now, at the start of the fight, a soul will fall down, and a player has to catch it by standing in like the swirly yellow circle under it beneath the engine of souls. Every 5 seconds, the soul will be launched in a random direction, and a player in the opposite realm has to catch it. So, pretty much thinking like you're playing catch with your little cloud serpent up in the Jade Forest. Oh geez, bouncing that one was fun. Now, you'll have to assign 2 people in each realm, because the same person can't soak twice in a row. We obviously, suggestion, assign a 3rd person as backup, just in case. Now, if one of the players has the soul above their character, that means they recently caught it and are unable to do so again. So someone else in the same realm has to catch it. The strategy is the assigned players should be marked. Once they catch a soul, they should always move to a sort of marked position. Sort of, just make it the center of the room. That way, everyone else can run around them. Everyone affected by tormented cries should move as far away as possible to avoid placing a wedge of shadow bad stuff on the ground where the soul is supposed to be caught. Now, assigned players should try to be as vocal as possible about who has to soak the next one and in which direction the soul is moving, because out of nowhere, you might just miss it. Now, DPS in the corporeal realm should focus the reanimated Templar to prevent him from casting Rupturing Slam, which can, when colliding with a player, knock them way off course, like to the point where you'll completely miss the damn thing, unless someone is kind of ready for it, but who knows? And that's about it. So pretty much keeping him up in the air alive until the boss is dead.
So the next one is the last easy one. And it's called Wax On, Wax Off. So this one you need to defeat a waxing Twilight Soul and then defeat the Sisters of the Moon into Sargeras on normal difficulty. So there's a bit of prep work for this one. So on the way to the Sisters' room, you'll enter a large room full of trash. It'll be Umbral Priestesses, Lunar Archer, an Umbral Guard, Lunar Guard, and on the left side you'll find an isolated ad called the Hole. Have a third tank pick up the ad and assign a melee DPS to help interrupt it. Strat for this one is throughout the fight the tank has to move the Twilight Soul from one side of the room to the other every time the colors. Once the Twilight Soul starts glowing blue, that means you. There's one important thing to note, and that's at the moment it seems that the Twilight Soul becomes blue only in the final phase of the fight.
You have to kind of take care of it through the whole fight and then kill it right at the end. So, but obviously it does say you have to defeat the Waxing Twilight Soul and then the Sisters, because it will despawn if you kill the boss first.
Yep.
That's one thing I've learned about a few of these achievements. If you kill the boss too quickly, then the thing that you had to kill first despawns and you don't get an achievement, so...
Fuck, after all that work.
Yeah. Now, Cuddles, do you want to take the last one for us?
Certainly. That would be Dark Souls, which is a medium. Or no, very hard. My fault. That was a new color. A very hard achievement. Defeat Kill Jaden in Tomb of Sargeras without any Shadow Souls, finishing a cast of Destabilized Shadow Soul on normal difficulty or higher. So you want to get as many Death Knights as you possibly can, since their Death Grip and Gorfine's Grasp are necessary for this achievement. If a 910 eye level DPS can switch to his 885 DK ult, then they should do it, since DPS is not an issue on normal difficulty. As for finding Illidan, why not? Illidan makes me mad sometimes. But let's find him this time. Make sure every single player in the raid has their minimap zoomed in. As soon as someone finds Illidan during intermission Deceiver's Veil, that player can ping on the minimap to let others know of his location. Tell your warlocks to place demonic gateways from one corner of the platform to the other to easily cover more space. Want to use monks and warriors due to their insane mobility. They're extremely helpful, and they should talent leg sweep or shockwave. Assign your Death Knights to grip the Shadow Souls towards the middle of the room. They should always Death Grip first, and then Gorfine's Grasp. Everyone else should be around the west side of the platform and focus on finding Illidan. Get the Deceiver's Veil buff, and then rush towards the Shadow Souls to AoE stun and kill them. We have a couple tips and tricks for Demon Hunters. Fell Rush ×2 to Illidan, then Vengeful Retreat and stun the Shadow Souls with Chaos Nova. Warriors are going to want to Heroic Leap plus Bounding Strike to Illidan and then charge the Shadow Souls and shockwave them. Monks, Transcendence in the middle of the platform, Chi Torpedo twice to Illidan, then Transcendence transfer back and stun the Shadow Souls with leg sweep. Arcane Mages, Shimmer twice to Illidan, Displacement, Shimmer to the Shadow Souls, and then use Supernova to stun them. Warlocks, place your Demonic Circle in the middle, activate Burning Rush, and run to Illidan. Demonic Circle again to teleport to the middle, and summon Infernal and Meteor Strike to stun the Shadow Souls.
That one seems like it's the most annoying because you have to do that in between killing the boss. So
Yeah, that one also sounds like a
Yeah.
lot of work.
yeah. But to Blizzard's credit, they have given a lot of different classes a lot of mobility to be able to zip around and do what needs to be done in that regard. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just stack the raid with demon hunters because they can double jump and glide.
Or make the
It's
hunter
like-
do it.
Yeah, you know, that kind of thing. But that's it for that achievement. Now, that achievement sadly does not reward a mount, but it does give the title the Tomb Raider.
Pretty
Now,
sick title.
Yes. Now, in saying that, I would like also to bring up that we actually received a tweet earlier, actually a couple of tweets from a couple different people in regards to mount collecting. Now, the first one came in from our old friend Spanky, tagged us and a couple of other people, and said, I thought this might happen, because there was a tweet from the Warcraft dev account saying there are no plans to add another level beyond the Lord of the Reins achievement at this time. So, currently, 300 is the max. There will be nothing further than that. Obviously, Savation chimed in, and we even had Vic Baldry just write "No" in response to that. In response to that tweet itself. So, I tweeted out that they may not add anything until sort of, next expansion, where they plan to pump out a whole bunch of mounts sort of all at once. But I could be wrong. Who knows? It's totally up to Blizzard in that regards. Do you think it's time? Do we need a 350 achievement yet?
I'd say so. I mean, I kind of like the titles and the other mounts. I mind blank on which one it was. The Albino Drake. There we go. And the Nether Ray.
Yes.
But yeah, I kind of like those mounts as well. So I'd really like if they continued with the tradition.
Yeah. Heck, even make 350 a title, Lord of the Reins.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, that's glorious.
That'd be absolutely awesome.
Cuddles, have you seen the mount that you get from 300?
Yes. Thanks in a large part my good friend Marconin. I keep up with what goes on with mount hunting, and
Yeah.
I have like you have to do 350, and like for the folks that have gotten there, like are really close. Like come on, give them something. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, to be fair, to those who keep up and are like really pushing it, I believe the max is around 386. So they may feel like, there's not enough to warrant that 350. Maybe once there's over 400 mounts in the game, they'll bump it up to 350. Maybe when there's 425, they'll bump it up. But I'm assuming they're probably like, well, probably only like 2% of the population that are even close to 350. So no one's really hankering for that achievement. So maybe we can wait a little, which I'm hoping.
But I feel like I
that's all it
would.
is.
If I was
I
was
understand.
at 349 right now, it's like give me a daggum achievement. I don't care if I'm the only one. I'm the only one. Give me an achievement.
Yeah, well, so gets every top ranking arena player every season. They get,
Yeah.
congratulations, you're the top 0.001%. Here's a mount. And an achievement. So, I mean, I can understand why not, but I can also understand why it does need to come in the end. Like,
Yeah.
You need to keep those markers going.
Yeah. I still think it'd be cool. It'd be a really, I don't know, Lord of the Rings would be.
Or, because they introduced class mount, why not, if you get 350, any class can use any class mount?
Oh, no. No, no. That would just hurt my soul even more.
Or if you get all the class mounts, then any class can use any class mount for that account.
That would be better, but still.
Yeah. Well, speaking of class mounts, we got a ton of pictures over the week. We got from John Parrish, who's at Jebpad46, at least 3 mounts that he posted. He has 2 of the Warlock mounts, the Warlock class mounts, which is awesome. And he has his Shaman class mount as well. Now, he also did tweet at us, "This is the last of my current 110s on the Horde side, but I do have the power of sending things to get on my Demon Hunter and Warlock." So he's still working on them. Off the top of my head, I don't know, but dude, tweet at us and let us know, like, out of X number of classes, how many mounts do you have? I'm genuinely curious. That's pretty cool. We did have another tweet from Tidget. Sirius, do you want to let us tell us what he said?
Yes. So just said, finally remembered to upload my class mount pick. I got it when it was available, but listening now, so I remembered to share. Well, thank you, Tidget.
What do you think of the class mounts, Cuddles?
I love it. I love the idea of them, and I like most of them. So I love the idea that Blizzard brought into this expansion, and I can't speak as to what they did before WoD, but I love the feeling of our classes having their own little spaces. It's starting to feel like their own little things. So it's not just Alliance or Horde or your race, but we're really breaking down now into classes, having our places, having our mounts. Like it's very much not like I'm just a panda now, or I'm just a night elf, or I'm just a dwarf. You're your class, and I think that from a headcanon emotional standpoint, it feels really good. And then having those mounts, that's even better. I 100% love the direction that Blizz went with class everything. This expansion.
Yeah, fidget spinners. Even that.
So,
yes.
as a druid, where do you stand with the druid mount?
Okay, so as a druid, I don't ever use mounts because I am one. And I don't actually have the druid class mount.
Well,
yet.
The druid class mount is a form. It's not a mount.
Okay, that's awesome. I was wondering about that. Oh, okay.
Now,
no. I've seen this. Okay, yeah, no, I want this.
Here's the contention. Some people want it as a mount and not as a form.
No.
That would be so weird.
No, because druids don't why I could turn into a my own animal, or I could ride this other no. It being a form is glorious, and it's beautiful, and everyone should use it. And yes. I think it's in terms of, again, going back to headcanon, why are you going to, I can instantly turn into a creature, or I can go find a creature and then have to feed it and carry it around and be where did he go? And I know that doesn't actually happen, but headcanon wise, it feels so much better to just be able to transform.
It would be kind of frowned upon to just go capture an animal and make it your mount as a druid.
Yeah.
Well, I would think of them more as you befriend it.
Yeah, and you call out with the hunter. The hunter quest line, you actually go on the hunt with Odin, and you hunt down like these rare mythical beasts, and then you prove yourself as a hunter to, you know, to the basically the god of the animals in sort of the Norse-ish mythology, and then you befriend its it's the oh geez, I'm blanking on the type of animal it is, but you befriend one of its young, and then to summon it, you actually call to it. Like the hunter puts his hands to his mouth, and there's like, you know, that big sonic circle that appears when certain like spells happen. Yeah, that appears, and he yells, and it comes to you, which is really cool. It's kind of like the Demon Hunter one, where the Demon Hunter jumps into the air, and the mount kind of swoops in under them as they go to land, which is really cool because they all have like awesome animations, which is really, really cool. I did want to bring up, you mentioned about class identity. I'm really glad they did that, and I love that. I believe it was Khadgar himself who said the Horde and the Alliance have no idea. Stick to your class. You know, trust yourself as a hunter or as a druid more than trust your faction. And so I really like the fact that, you know, I can go to the True Shot Lodge and see other hunters running around. Yes, actually, Cuddles, if you didn't know, the original name of my hunter was True Shot. Because I was...
That's awesome.
I know, because I was horrible at naming things back then, but then I came with the name later, when I had to transfer servers. So, actually, I don't remember, was it transferring to ENR or transferring...
transferring to Anna.
Yeah, so we moved off a dead server to a medium server that turned into a dead server, and then we went to CTR. So that was a
lot of money.
But yeah, well, over time, this game's a lot of money. Who cares? It's fun. But yeah, I really do like the class fantasy, and you know, you can see the hunters, especially. You know, we have a whole bunch of target dummies set up. There are a bunch of gnomes who are tinkering away, trying to build better guns and better target dummies and like better pets in air quotes because they want to make their own mechanical pets. You know, you have the hunters that are more in tune with nature, like Rexar, who's, you know, sitting with his buddy up on the mountain and that kind of thing. And I'm sure, you know, in the mage class hall, you've got, you know, everyone studying.
Lots of books.
Studying. I'm sure there's a large section of the druid class hall that's just all asleep.
Oh,
I'm guessing
it seems like they could be.
Yeah. Well, if
it's very peaceful. I love it.
Yeah. If I go near the druid class hall, I fall asleep. So that's all I know. Also, if you somehow get into the rogue class hall, you fall asleep. But that's a different story. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, even in the priest class hall, which is literally a temple that's in the Twisting Nether, I believe. The start of that class hall campaign, we find a big void lord, and we cleanse it of the void, and it turns back into a Naru, who then is the one that empowers our weapon. And it's like we have half of the Citadel Chapel is like bright, and there's lights everywhere and candles, and the other side, all the candles are out and it's dark and it looks disgusting, and it's because that's where all the shadow priests are doing their magic. And it's just...
Man, for all you know, the light side look disgusting to the shadow priest. Don't judge.
Well, they're going slowly insane, so it's different. But either way,
talk much.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Cuddles.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This has been such a pleasure. Y'all have one of the podcasts that stayed in my podcatcher for quite some time, and I've always enjoyed your show, and it's really an honor to be here.
Yes. Well, from from my end, I did notice a very, very long time ago you followed us on Twitter, and I was always keeping it in the back of my mind. We have to get him on this show. We have to have him as a guest, because I listen to The Converted all the time, as much as, well, whenever it's on, basically. And yeah, I try and catch you streaming, but very rarely because of time zones, which sucks. And yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, one of these days here, sometime soon, I'm going to have to return the time zone favor, and get one or both of you over on my show at an ungodly hour in Australia.
Well,
Only fair.
well, Sirius and I just recently, big news, purchased our first home.
Woo!
And so
congratulations.
once we move in, we will be able to set aside the time to stay up or get up ridiculously early.
Heck yeah.
So
Woo!
we'll definitely do that. But for next week's show, next week there is an event happening, the Kirin Tor Tavern Brawl, and we'll be talking about some other stuff as well. We have some plans, but nothing's set in stone. But what is set in stone the week after, we'll be having another guest, because I like guests.
He likes to work me into the ground.
No.
I'm
You're the one that doesn't
I'm
do the work until the
joking.
last day and then stay up till
Hey.
stupid o'clock. Sometimes.
Oh, shush. Stayed up till stupid o'clock. Whoops.
Well, our guest will be Reckles from Want to Buy Gold.
Woo!
He was recently on Lagging Balls and a couple of other things, and he's trying to make his rounds to spread, the good word of gold, I guess. But if you want to come along next week or the week after, we record live Tuesday nights, twitch.tv/Reins of Azeroth, around 8:30 p.m. Australian time. Cuddles, what time is it? What time did we start for you?
I got on at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight, so that would be, to kick it to CTR server time, that would be 3:30 a.m. server.
Oh, no.
No wonder no one is raiding at that time when I get on.
We have raid teams that, like, I used to raid on the weekends.
Yeah.
It was a 6 a.m. server, which was hilarious, and it was bacon and kegs, and
Yes,
we called
Bacon
it
and
that.
Kegs have brought me on.
There you
once.
go! Oh my gosh!
Yes, Professor Moriarty is part of Bacon and Kegs. He's a big fan of ours, and we're a big fan of his.
Oh my gosh, I miss him. I miss your face, Maury. But it was awesome because we had all the Americans. It's like 6-7 o'clock in the morning for us. We're waking up, we're struggling, we're trying to get coffee, and then we have Maury. It's like 8-9 p.m. for him on a Saturday, and he's half in the bag most of the time. And it was awesome. This collection of bleary-eyed coffee-drinking Americans, and then a few drunken Aussies. It's such a beautiful melding of.
Sounds like a powder keg.
Oh, it was
A
great.
few drunken Aussies makes it sound like just sober. We're never sober. That's not how that works.
No. Well, we were also at one point part of the Watermelon Initiative.
Yeah.
And
nice.
the Banana Republic.
Yes.
For a fair while. So we raided with those guys, but obviously time zones and stuff happens. Real life sucks sometimes. So yeah. Well, let me finish my spiel then. The show can be found at reinsofAzeroth.com, as well as on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher. The video, where you can see the lovely artwork that Sirius provides for us, can be found on YouTube. Just search for Reins of Azeroth. You can leave us a review on iTunes. A thumbs up on Stitcher would also be great. If you do leave us a review on iTunes, please let me know, because I haven't put back together my iTunes watching thing, and I probably should. So if you do review us, let me know, and then I'll have to do it. But if you have any questions, stories, or pictures, because we love pictures for our gallery, send them to the reinsofAzeroth@gmail.com. The show on Twitter is at Reins of Azeroth. I can be found at Spaz Wesson. Sirius is at Super Sirius 13. That's SuperSiriusXIII, Roman numerals for 13. And Cuddles, where can people find you?
Well, 5 days a week, I am streaming on twitch.tv/thegamecase, and you can always find me over on Twitter at thegamecase.
Awesome. Now, if you would like to join us on our Discord server, you can do so. Just shoot us a tweet on the Twitters, and we'll send you a link, because apparently every time I've created a permanent link, it has not been permanent, because I'm just not good with Discord, apparently. But that's it for this week. Thank you so much, Cuddles.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. This is a lot of fun.
And we will see you all next week.
I love you.
Have a great week.
Bye.
And that's it. Recording stopped. We're still live to Twitch, though. Tidget, yes. See you this weekend. Let me know when you're in Sydney. I may be able to sneak out of work to grab lunch with you guys if you're not too far from where I work. Hopefully.
Don't forget, you also have to pick up the molding agent for me.
Yes. That is true.
Because I keep forgetting, and I don't want to order it online.
Yes. You just need to send me the info.
No problem.
Now, Cuddles, we will at the stream in a minute, and you are
You're free to nap.
totally free to nap, pretty much.
Woo. No naps for me. I actually have to get my 6-year-old up to summer camp. So, and by the time I get home from that, it's time to go live.
Summer camp.
It's my son goes to a day camp at a martial arts studio. So he's learning what do they do here? Taekwondo.
It's not like the stereotypical space
cool.
camp then. Because that's the thing that we always
we have that.
Of course.
And I'm actually only about an hour and a half away from Cape Canaveral. So
that's awesome.
So cool.
Space camp is something that will happen, and we are actually there's a streamer on Twitch by the name of Das Valdez. If anybody's involved at all in Kerbal Space Program, you'll know of Das. So Kerbal Space Program, have you guys ever seen that game?
Yes, I have played it, and I have failed miserably.
Okay, so like Das is able to talk about like rocket science level things with it. He in fact was at a NASA press conference recently and asked a question in which the NASA person had to step down from the podium and actually grab a rocket scientist to answer this Twitch streamer's question. And he's gotten to the point now where he actually travels once a month to NASA on their dime and does things at NASA. So I'm lucky enough to know him, and I've convinced him that we're going to coordinate at some point, and I'm going to let him show my kid around NASA, and because like he knows all the history and like absolute craziness. So I'm going to make him make my kid love rockets. So I'm looking forward to that.
Fair enough.
So cool.
It'll be fun.
I wish we had space camp here.
Yeah, but you have a Hobbiton.
No, that's across the way. That's down in New Zealand.
But that's so close. I understand it's an entirely different country, but it's actually a lot closer than it is for me.
Yeah, and I don't believe you need a passport to get there as an Aussie, so yeah, it's not that bad.
I still want space
camp. It's only like a 2-hour flight for us, so yeah, space camp would be cool.
Seriously, there was an astronomy camp. I would pay to fly to America just to go to it as a kid. Because astronomy is like my jam.
Well, I would pay to go to Hobbit camp. So we're gonna have to work out some sort of cultural exchange program.
Baz, how do you feel about sharing a bed with girls?
As long as he cuddles.
Oh.
Despite my name, I actually don't really cuddle.
Do you at least give
It's-
people hugs at
Heresy.
BlizzCon?
Yes, I am. It's funny. I wasn't a hugger, but then going to my first BlizzCon and being named Cuddles, I quickly became a hugger.
Mm.
Because,
Well,
you know, as a part of CTR, you can't not be a hugger.
yes. Well,
Pretty much.
because of everything, we will not be going to BlizzCon this year, but we are hoping and praying and already saving for next year.
Right on. Well,
Yes.
you know, you can share in the fun with the Well Played Party live stream.
Yes, that's going to
hosted
be awesome.
by myself.
It's going to be cool. Yeah, I put in a form when they were asking for people who wanted to do stuff, and I'm like, I would totally be able to host that in Australia as a thing if you need someone online for it. And they're just like, we got it covered. It's all good. I'm like, no worries. I didn't think anything of it anyway.
I don't like your
Aw.
accent.
No, like I wasn't expecting anything. And so when I got nothing, I was fine. Like I wasn't let down because I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to be, in air quotes,
Nah,
there.
the accent was too much.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
I would suggest that anybody going into watching the live stream actually go in expecting nothing, because since I'm doing it, it's probably just a good bet. Just
I'll
expect
stop.
nothing.
Yeah. Well, if you need
Sure,
us,
it'll be amazing.
wait, will you actually be there on the stream, or are you hosting it from
No, I will.
home?
I will actually be. This will be the third year that I will be there hosting the live stream, interviewing people.
Okay.
Like last year, I actually got. We get a lot of the podcast personalities, like the Scott Johnsons, of course, Pat. But we had last year I had Celestalon sit down with me.
We met
Um,
Celestalon when he came to Australia. Or I did, I
Oh.
should say. Me and Cinder and I did, because I pretty much up and was just like, you know what, I'm taking the hour-and-a-half flight down to Melbourne, because why not? Because I won tickets to the... you had to win tickets to the event itself, and I was like, you know what, I'll retweet the thing and see what happens. And if I win, I'll spend the $300 to fly down and back. And I did. I won the damn competition, and me, Cinder's husband Fru, and Asylum came with us, which was really cool. And we got to meet him, and and the funniest thing was, I was just like, yeah, no, I'm Spaz from the Reins of Azeroth. He's like, hey, I know you guys. And I'm just like, oh my god, he knows I exist, sort of thing. So, yeah.
Who was it? I ran into Lore at TwitchCon last year, I believe, and same sort of like bumped into him walking across the street, turned around and walked back the way he was walking. It was like, oh my god, Lore! Like, hey, I'm the game case. He's like, you do a podcast. I was like, oh my god. Why do you know this? I definitely had the little moment. It was it was horrible.
Oh no, I'm sure he gets that all the time.
It's just his hair. It's not even like, can I just say that? It's simply his hair that intimidated me. It's Celestalon. His hair. He did my hair last year. And that was an awesome experience. Even outside of the hair, it was like an entire day of hanging out in his apartment with some really, really cool people.
Cool.
Everyone that works at Blizzard is so awesome. Like, I feel bad that I haven't even made contact with the person that I contacted from Blizzard at that event, Kate. I follow her on Twitter, she follows me, but we never actually ended up reaching out to her because we've been planning on getting a dev or something on the show, but we've just not thought of anything interesting to ask them, so we're just like, we shouldn't even bother until we figure out some decent questions. But yeah, maybe now that we have the class mounts, we can maybe try and ask them about that, so we'll see.
There you go. They always the cool thing that I've found with Blizzard devs, and I've never interviewed one on stream because my podcast doesn't tend to be that serious. But they all have awesome, heck, have one on and just have them talk about how the fact that there's a dojo
Yes.
like on the Blizzard campus.
I
Like,
saw those pictures and I was like, what the hell?
Like there's just you could literally just have somebody talk about how awesome it is to work at
Yeah.
that campus.
Well, actually, did you see the photo that someone put up of Jeff Kaplan being interviewed? And it's like, so Jeff, obviously Terry Crews is not Doomfist. Why was he on the campus? And then it cuts back to him with his head on like a ripped body, and the comment underneath it is just for some consulting work. So dumb.
I think
That
if
was
anything, I'd be
hilarious.
more interested in just cuddling with the gigantic freaking plushies. I need
Mhm.
them. I need them
Yeah.
so
Yes.
bad.
Oh, the giant Pepe that apparently is in the Korean Blizzard office.
Need all of them.
Oh, jeez. Alright, well, let's end the stream. I'll process the episode. Cuddles, you go do what you need to do. And we'll see everybody next week.
I love you.
Bye everybody. Thanks again.